Moses, Ramses, who grew up together, close as brothers, keep each other safe.
You know something's wrong. You've always felt it.
Your parents never told you the truth.
What truth?
From the mind of acclaimed director Ridley Scott, known for his masterful work on films like Gladiator and Prometheus, comes Exodus, Gods and Kings, an epic cinematic journey that reimagines one of the most enduring stories in human history. At its heart is the figure of Moses, portrayed with gravitas by Christian Bale, whose journey is as much internal as it is external, a tale of courage, conviction, and the struggle against impossible odds. Scott's vision is not just a retelling of the biblical story. It is a vivid, immersive experience, brought to life through breathtaking visual effects, grandiose set pieces, and the sweeping scale of 3D cinematography, which together transform the familiar narrative into a spectacle that resonates with modern audiences. The story begins in a time of immense power and oppression, set against the backdrop of ancient Egypt, a civilization renowned for its grandeur, discipline, and divine authority. Moses, born into a world of servitude, is raised in the Egyptian royal court, nurtured under the protection and tutelage of Pharaoh Ramses, played with a commanding presence by Joel Edgerton. Their bond, complex and deeply layered, forms the emotional core of the film, illustrating the tension between loyalty and duty, familial ties and moral obligation. Ridley Scott expertly develops this relationship, showing the fraternal tension and eventual ideological rift that drives the narrative forward, making the conflict between Moses and Ramses feel personal as well as epic. The film's visual storytelling is nothing short of spectacular. Every frame is meticulously crafted, whether it is the awe-inspiring architecture of the Egyptian temples, the sprawling desert landscapes, or the intimate moments of human struggle. The use of state-of-the-art visual effects elevates the story, making the plagues that descend upon Egypt both terrifying and mesmerizing. The devastating flood of locusts, the sudden darkening of the skies, and the Nile turning blood red are portrayed with a sense of immediacy and scale that pulls the audience directly into the biblical world, where the consequences of defiance are tangible, horrifying, and inescapable. These sequences are not just for spectacle, they underscore the narrative's themes of power, justice, and divine intervention, showing how the forces of nature and fate collide with human ambition and will. Christian Bale's portrayal of Moses is a study in internal conflict and resolute leadership. From the outset, Moses is shown wrestling with his identity, torn between his upbringing in the opulent Egyptian court and his inherent connection to his people, the Hebrews. Bale conveys this struggle with subtlety and intensity, capturing the fear, doubt, and eventual determination that defines Moses' character. As the story unfolds, audiences witness a transformation. A man who begins as a hesitant figure unsure of his place in the world and grows into a leader capable of challenging an empire, inspiring loyalty, and confronting moral dilemmas with courage and wisdom. This character arc is one of the film's most compelling elements, giving emotional weight to a story often dominated by grand spectacle. The dynamic between Moses and Ramses is equally compelling. Edgerton's Pharaoh is not portrayed as a one-dimensional villain. Rather, he is a man of conviction, power, and pride, whose own sense of destiny and authority is challenged by someone he once considered a brother. Their confrontations are charged with tension, reflecting not just political and military struggle, but personal betrayal and ideological conflict. Ridley Scott carefully balances these emotional beats with action and spectacle, ensuring that the story remains grounded in human experience, even as it ascends into mythic scale. The dialogue and performances breathe life into ancient history, making the audience feel the weight of their choices and the cost of defiance. One of the most impressive aspects of Exodus, Gods and Kings, is its approach to the story's monumental events, particularly the plagues that strike Egypt. Rather than relying solely on traditional biblical imagery, Scott uses innovative visual effects to convey their magnitude and terror. The plagues are depicted with cinematic grandeur, blending realism and spectacle, so that the natural and supernatural intertwine in a seamless, awe-inspiring manner. Each plague feels consequential, illustrating the escalating stakes and the inexorable force of justice and retribution. These sequences are complemented by the meticulous design of sets and costumes, which immerse the audience in the historical and cultural context of the era. The attention to detail in every element, from the pharaoh's opulent court to the harsh, unforgiven deserts traversed by the fleeing Hebrews, underscores the film's commitment to authenticity while maintaining a visually stunning cinematic experience. The Exodus itself, the central narrative of escape and liberation, is a journey of both epic scale and intimate emotion. Scott captures the enormity of leading 400,000 slaves across hostile terrain with a sense of logistical realism, portraying the immense challenges, fears, and hopes of the people as they flee bondage and pursue freedom. At the same time, it highlights Moses' leadership, his courage under pressure, and his ability to inspire faith and determination in those who follow him. The crossing of the Red Sea, one of the film's most iconic sequences, is rendered with breathtaking visual effects, combining tension, suspense, and awe in a moment that epitomizes the film's balance of human drama and epic spectacle. Beyond the grand visuals and dramatic storytelling, the film explores profound themes that resonate across time. The tension between faith and doubt, power and morality, freedom and oppression is woven throughout the narrative. Moses' struggle is emblematic of the universal quest for justice and the courage it takes to confront entrenched power. Pharaoh embodies the challenges of leadership and authority, revealing the complexity of decisions made from a position of absolute power. These themes elevate the film beyond a historical or religious retelling, positioning it as a meditation on human nature, ambition, and the consequences of choices in the face of destiny. The story encourages reflection on the moral and ethical dilemmas faced by leaders and ordinary people alike, making the narrative relevant and engaging for contemporary audiences. The supporting cast enhances the story with nuanced performances that add depth to the epic narrative. Actors portraying key figures in Moses' life, from advisors to family members, provide a human dimension to the larger-than-life events. These performances ensure that even amidst divine intervention and natural catastrophe, the audience remains invested in the characters' personal journeys, their relationships, and the stakes of their survival. The ensemble work is carefully calibrated, allowing moments of intimacy to emerge within the grand scale of the film's visual and narrative ambition. Musically, the score complements the narrative with a blend of grandeur and subtlety, amplifying tension, emotion, and drama throughout the film. The music underscores the sweeping landscapes, the dramatic confrontations, and the quiet moments of introspection, reinforcing the emotional resonance of the story. It enhances the cinematic experience without overwhelming it, allowing audiences to remain immersed in both the spectacle and the humanity of the narrative. Exodus, Gods and Kings is also notable for its technical achievements in cinematography and production design. The film's visual language is carefully constructed, with sweeping camera movements, dynamic compositions, and a meticulous approach to lighting that captures the contrast between opulence and desolation, power and vulnerability. Every scene is crafted to convey scale and emotion, whether depicting the grand halls of the pharaoh's palace or the unforgiving expanses of the desert. The integration of visual effects with practical sets and locations creates a sense of authenticity, allowing the audience to fully inhabit the world of ancient Egypt and witness the story with a heightened sense of realism. At its core, the film is a story about leadership, morality, and the human spirit. Moses' journey from reluctant nobleman to courageous leader reflects the challenges of guiding others through fear, uncertainty, and adversity. The narrative emphasizes the sacrifices, doubts, and moral courage required to pursue justice and freedom, highlighting the personal cost of such a journey. Through Moses' eyes, audiences experience the emotional and ethical complexities of leadership, understanding that true courage often involves not only facing external threats, but also confronting internal conflicts and insecurities. Ridley Scott's direction ensures that every element of Exodus, Gods and Kings serves the story, whether through the performances, visuals, or pacing. The film balances spectacle and intimacy, historical epic, and personal drama, creating an experience that is both entertaining and thought-provoking. It does not merely recount events, but invites audiences to engage with the characters' choices, dilemmas, and transformations. The film's scale, combined with its attention to character development and thematic depth, makes it a compelling exploration of one of history's most legendary narratives. Ultimately, Exodus, Gods and Kings succeeds as both a cinematic spectacle and a human story. It delivers a visual feast of monumental events, from plagues to desert journeys, while grounding the narrative in the personal struggles of its central characters. Moses' courage, Ramses' ambition, and the resilience of the Hebrews are brought to life with intensity, authenticity, and grandeur. The film challenges audiences to consider the nature of leadership, the consequences of defiance, and the enduring quest for freedom and justice. By combining Ridley Scott's visionary direction, Christian Bale's commanding performance, Joel Edgerton's compelling presence, and a host of technical and artistic achievements, the film provides an unforgettable exploration of courage, morality, and the epic human story of liberation. In the end, Exodus, Gods and Kings is not just a retelling of an ancient story, it is a cinematic experience that immerses viewers in the trials, triumphs, and transformation of a man who dared to defy an empire and lead his people toward freedom. It is a story of faith, conviction, and the indomitable spirit of humanity, brought to life through breathtaking visuals, nuanced performances, and a narrative that resonates across cultures and generations. From the first frame to the final moments, the film invites audiences to witness the courage it takes to stand against overwhelming odds, the weight of moral choice, and the timeless power of a story that continues to inspire and captivate. Through Exodus, Gods and Kings, Ridley Scott not only reimagines a legendary tale, but also crafts a cinematic journey that is as moving, thrilling, and unforgettable as the story of Moses himself.